can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about the team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face.
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, get any?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing? You're brave to step outside in the hot weather, but here in New Jersey, it's a party outside. We got the Talking Baseball with Sal Angioletti crew, Sal Angioletti and Carl McGlasky here. And for Siriani Says Sports, we got Ryan Barron Jr. and me, myself, Matt Siriani. And gentlemen, how are you doing?
Good. Boys,
Somebody turn the heat off, will you?
I'm all right, actually. Not as hot as I thought, so it's all good.
It's all good. And I got to thank Christian for producing the show. Christian, give Christian a round of applause.
Yeah, it's been a New York minute since we've seen him.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Christian.
Actually, no, 2 weeks ago. He was hiding in his basement somewhere. When
Christian,
he was
how
doing
you
the
hanging
show.
up there?
Yeah, I'm all right. You know, I'm a bigger gentleman, so me and the Heat don't really get along all that well. But it's a pleasure to be with you guys. Always is.
Awesome.
I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a lie. I'm just kidding. No. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We got a lot of sports to talk about. We're here with you for the next 2 hours. We got a table in the back just chilling out there. I got to thank the people of Outback Steakhouse for allowing us to come back.
Yeah, where
So the owner, Lee Mazikian, manager James Kelly, and co-manager Joe Lancaster. Got to thank those guys and all the hard workers at Outback Steakhouse in Middletown. They do a fantastic job of what they do, and I can't thank them enough for allowing us to come back. But we got a lot of sports to talk about. We're going to start off with the baseball half for an hour, and then we're going to transition into
Don't jump off the cliff yet.
fantasy football and regular football for the NFL. And we're going to start off with the doubleheader from last night. The Yankees played the Houston Astros in Houston at Minute Maid Park. No trash cans were there, no microphones, no funny business. And first game, Jordan Montgomery started, went 6 1/3, gave up 2 runs. And then they tried to put Michael King in the 9th to try and force the game to extras. And then, unfortunately, the Yankees just couldn't seal the deal. First game was a close one, but the Yankees just couldn't come up. They actually suffered with a walk-off, which is rare for them because it's been they've been the team that scores the walk-off wins all season long. But, Sal, I got to ask you about game one. What happened?
There was nobody standing at second base. That's why they lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. IKF threw to nobody. Jordan Alvarez just got to second base easy.
Yeah, he threw it to one of the fans in the stands, I think. I think somebody caught it.
Yeah. And I said it in the group chat because we have a group chat, me, Sal, Carl, and Kevin Wall, who's not here. He said the fan. Yes,
our other buddies, of course, if nobody knows, Kevin Wall is a producer at CBS Sports Network and the fan. What is he doing today? He's filling in
the
for,
Rome show, the Jim Rome show.
The Jim Rome show today, yeah.
Yeah, so again, Yankees lose 3-2 to the Astros, and I said in the chat, painful loss, and then Sal, you call me a jinx.
You're a jinx. The game wasn't even over yet. It's 2-2. Did you know it was even tied?
No, I knew it was tied. I was watching the game in the back of the kitchen.
The kitchen.
And once they had the bases loaded, I was like, oh, well, this is the problem.
Now, what were you doing in the kitchen? Were you making lunch or dinner? What?
I was serving up food and preparing it for the fine customers.
Oh, look at that. There you go. What were you preparing? You get some steaks going on?
I was preparing steaks. I was preparing lobsters. I was doing it all. But, painful loss, 3-2. And then they had the second game. Domingo Germán came to the mound, and it was not pretty from the jump.
He only pitched good in the minors.
He only pitched good in the minors. He gave up 2 home runs in the first inning with 2 outs. Gave up another 2 runs in the second inning. Gave a fifth, I think, somewhere in the second or third. Either way, it was just not a good outing for him. He gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. Pitched, didn't look good. Yanks tried to make a comeback effort. Judge hit a 3-run home run, and Gleyber Torres hit a 2-run bomb. But it just wasn't enough. They lost 7-5 the second game, and as soon as it was over, Sal had the liberty to say, Houston, we have a problem.
Now, do you remember what I said a couple weeks ago when I was in studio with you guys?
What did you say?
What'd you say?
Houston's your daddy.
He's not wrong.
But hold on a minute. You got last year the Yankees won 4 out of 6 of Houston. Did it make a difference?
It did make a difference.
No, it didn't. Yankees were eliminated anyway.
Yeah, they were eliminated by the Boston Red Sox anyway. But I heard this a lot. The Yankees and Astros seem like they're on a collision course for the ALCS. We talk about this a lot because there's almost no team in the ALCS that could touch the Yankees. There's almost no AL team in the AL that could touch the Houston Astros. So it's pretty much set in stone 3 months in advance.
Come on, Tampa.
Tampa, yeah, exactly. Tampa can make a difference if they face the Astros. And I know, Ryan, you had a hot take about seeding in the AL playoffs.
That was amazing.
Who said that?
What's that?
Well,
Seeding in the AL playoffs. You had a take. You said you'd be fine with the Astros.
I'd be fine if the Yankees finished in the 2nd seed, because then they either got to play the winner of Minnesota and Toronto.
See, I said a couple weeks ago you want the 1 seed, so you have 6 and 7 against Houston at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ain't going to matter either way, because if Houston's eliminated by Tampa or whoever else, it's not going to matter anyway. But here is something, because everybody was already got Boone on the ledge, getting ready to push him off on the 35th floor. He says, I understand it's a big story. I understand the season we're in. It's not going to matter unless it's October. So if we happen to be back in October, we are going to show up. We're going to expect to win. And we think we are really good. They're really good. Don't overstate this.
Not a good thing to say when you're 2-5 against the Houston Astros.
It's not going to matter. You still are 34 games over 500. Why is everybody panicking?
Because the last couple of times in the playoffs,
So what?
you guys haven't beaten
It's
them.
not October yet. Let's put it this way. If the Yankees are a built to win now team and they don't make the World Series, it's a shadow of a doubt Boone is gone.
Yeah. I agree with that 110%.
Because in the beginning of the season, we thought maybe at best.
But we didn't pick the Yankees.
No, you said 3rd place at the most.
I said 3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th. So now you're playing with house money. You thought you're exceeding. You have the chance to win it now.
Right.
Go for the gusto.
Yeah. Now the gusto's who? Do you grab Juan Soto and Luis Castillo, or you just grab Castillo and hopefully Andrew Benintendi?
Now here's the thing.
Now Benintendi says if he does get traded to the Yankees, he'll definitely get vaccinated.
Here's the thing. If you guys get Soto, you can't pay both of them.
No.
You can't pay Soto, and you can't pay Judge.
What about that wonderful comment by the sports writer, the woman during the All-Star game?
I hate to put you on the spot.
That was great.
Marley Rivera. Oh, yeah.
Not to put you on the spot, though. How do you feel?
That poor kid. You mean Aaron Judge fan, but all this
Yankees out there, but hopefully he's still an Aaron Judge fan. If Judge doesn't sign, he'll be in San Francisco Giants.
Ryan, what's your take on this?
Aaron Judge will be him for at least probably 3 to 4 years of kind of sitting on the bench. And Juan Soto, give him 15 years, he'll still be 37, 38. So
that's right. Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a contract for Yankee fans to watch Aaron Judge leave, considering everything he's done for us. But I mean, business at the end of the day. So I mean, if it's Juan Soto for Aaron Judge, I'd take Soto.
I think he still ends up with the Cardinals, I think.
Well, I heard the Cardinals and the Padres have the 2 best assets to get Juan Soto. Because the Padres could use a better outfield. And I also heard the
Stop driving through the parking lot to beat the light.
Oh, man.
You're ruining my show.
Dang.
I'll give you a ticket.
Dang. But the Astros are a little bit of a problem. The Yankees play tonight on Amazon Prime. They play the Baltimore Orioles.
I hate that.
Every Friday night, That's how it goes.
I'd rather have Prime than Apple TV because the Apple TV Plus thing, like at least more people have Prime.
Whatever happened to the Facebook games? They just like tried that
They
for
did
not
away
even a
with
year,
them.
and that
They
was
did
it.
away with them. Yeah.
But like you could at least like you would know like every 1 in 2 people have Amazon Prime. Like who do you know that has Apple TV Plus, and what do they use it for outside of baseball?
A lot of these people who are older than we are
Now,
don't really know that
Yeah.
hardcore fans aren't gonna.
now is the Philly game broadcast or that Apple TV also tonight?
That's a good question. I gotta take a look at that, but I'm pretty confident. Well, I know Yankee games are Amazon Prime every Friday, but I don't know about Philly games. That's an interesting question.
Because I know the Sunday game, that thing that Jason Benedetti, he from ESPN, he broadcasts every Sunday.
Yeah, on Peacock.
Peacock. The Phillies game is on Peacock on Sunday at 12 o'clock, so you can't watch it only if you get subscribed to Peacock, which is stupid too. I don't like that package either.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Well, you get MLB TV for free if you have T-Mobile as your carrier,
Yeah, but
They're those-
most people end up having
and a lot of
Verizon.
New York games are blacked out anyway. So why we even bother?
Oh, boys, before we continue, another big event is also big on Sunday, 2022 Hall of Fame ceremonies.
That's right.
It is.
Anybody interesting going in?
I don't know.
Oh,
Just
Gil
David
Hodges
Ortiz.
finally.
No.
David Ortiz, Gil Hodges, among others. Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. He really
So should Pete Rose then?
and so should Pete Rose.
All I'm going to say is, like Sal said, it's going to be hot on Sunday when they're there. Big time hot.
Yeah, it's going to be 101 degrees, and that's without the humidity, like it is now. It's about 105.
I know we talk about all the time, steroids, who did them, whoever. You got to realize, for a majority of MLB's history, there were players that were using steroids. Even like back in the 1900s, there were players that were using steroids. And Barry Bonds was one of the best at his position. And he has a record that no one, and I repeat, no one's ever going to break with the home run record in a single season and in a career. And he should really be in there. Same with Roger Clemens. And I take it even bigger shot and say Curt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. I know his thoughts and his verbiage and the way he talks and his mannerisms get him in trouble, but he should be in the Hall of Fame too.
I think next year they'll probably vote him in as the senior committee.
In the senior committee.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think Jeff Kent should be in also, but he talked too much. Jeff Kent should be in.
Oh, they all do. Yeah, they all talk too much. You know that.
They all talk too much. They all probably took steroids, but either way, if you tell the story of a 150-year-old sport, you need to be in if you have a significance in that story. And Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens were the two players that stand out from their generation as the best players at their position. Roger Clemens was a top-tier pitcher. Barry Bonds was a top-tier hitter.
And like, here's the thing about that is like everybody kind of in that day still used steroids. So even if you're the best player and you use steroids, you're still the best player in the steroid era, which still kind of cancels it out in like this kind of weird way. But like, because back then everybody still used steroids, no matter like if people, well, a lot, but
Yeah.
if you didn't like it, still used it. He was still the best player with them. So
Here's
Damn, if I knew about that, I'd be great in high school.
Here's another player who I don't think will never make it in. Good thing at his position. Rafael Palmeiro. He'll never get in. Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wasn't what's his name there too?
A bunch of them were there.
Wyatt was there too.
A bunch of them
They
were
were
there.
all
Yeah, they were all there. They were all there. Him, Sosa, McGuire, all of them were there.
Now, Pujols was always speculated about taking that because he always wore a baggy uniform, so nobody really knew if he was or wasn't.
Well, I heard a story, guys. Sorry for cutting off. Supposedly, he's a couple of years older than what he says on his birth certificate.
Who's
Supposedly,
this?
Pujols, he may be 45 instead of 42.
Really?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, so didn't Hideki Matsui have the same problem?
Yeah,
he
Hideki Matsui
didn't-
was similar
supposedly
to
knows
that.
it wasn't his real age either.
Yeah, they're saying that he may be actually 45 instead of 42.
Wow.
that's even crazier, honestly, if that's true.
Imagine that, and he almost won the home run derby.
Oh yeah, exactly. David Ortiz took steroids, and people don't complain about that. Well, you want to know why? Because the whole standing up for Boston in the 2013 when the Boston Marathon Massacre happened, 2004. This is our effing city. Like, oh, I get it, and he was such an iconic player. But at the same time, why would you put in a guy who already took steroids and leave out Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens?
It's not right.
It's not right. And you know what? If that's the case, A-Rod should be in the Hall of Fame. Even though he's a jerk, A-Rod should be in the Hall of Fame. And I think we have Ryan Behringer Sr. wants to talk.
How would Derek Jeter feel about that?
He wouldn't feel good about that. He wouldn't even go to the ceremony.
Oh, hold on. We got a guess.
Mike Piazza.
Mike Piazza, yeah.
A lot of rumors there.
Oh, Mike was horrible towards the fans. Did I just say that?
Yeah,
I'm a
you did.
witness. I worked at Chase Stadium.
No, he wasn't good with the fans.
No. I watched these two kids call him over for an autograph. He just ignored them and kept walking.
Wow.
Ryan, what you got in your mind?
Did you guys watch watching the Jeter?
The Captain docuseries?
Yes, the docuseries, the documentary.
Yeah, I've watched it so far.
Okay. The second episode yesterday, and for those of us who lived through the 98 season, remember how magical that season was, right? Well, people forget, and I actually forgot this, right? The first round of the playoffs, the Yankees were actually down in that series
To the Indians.
To the Indians.
That's right, 2-1.
That's
They were
right.
down 2-1.
Yep. And but they talk more about, and this is where I think the Yankees now are missing from what they used to have then, is that they had that level of calm and collectiveness. They knew that they were going to win. And that's the attitude that they had. And that team really didn't have any MVPs, all really good players, but nobody from any of those teams won the MVP or the Cy Young.
That's right. And it's funny because why does the fan or anybody else call the fan, why are the Yankee fans comparing this to the 98 team? All right, it's about the same wins. It's not the same team. It's not the same manager or players on the field.
I mean, I want to see
So
somebody.
we have to stop comparing seasons. That's like saying, the Mets the last time we were in the World Series was 2015, but it's a whole different pitching staff to what they have now.
Ryan, go ahead.
Name me somebody on that 98 team that is the caliber of Joey Gallo. Oh, wait.
Which one? What happened? I didn't hear.
Name someone from the 918 that has the caliber of Joey Gallo.
I'll wait because
Who had the caliber of Joey Gallo?
Who
There's
was like-
nobody there. Why is he even still on his team?
exactly. So there's the comparison out the window. Like the
Yeah,
98
exactly.
team had nobody at like.
And at that year, the
Yeah.
Yankees had to call up Shane Spencer, and he 18 home runs in the month of September.
Yeah.
Spencer Fahia, we used to call him.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a huge Yankee fan, but I remember two logistic plays when I'm watching the Yankees when Jeter was playing for the Yankees.
You mean in 09 when you beat the Phillies? No, I'm only kidding.
No. So, first was, I think it was 2000, either 2000 or 2001 against Oakland, Game 3.
The flip.
Oh,
the flip.
Oh, the flip
The
play.
flip to
Because
and they
if
get Giambi.
Giambi's brother would have slid,
He would have been
would've
safe. Okay. And then I think it was July 4th weekend, little fly ball. He dives in the stands and he catches it and cuts his chin.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah,
That's right.
they were good. It was like
Yeah,
you knew.
from 1 to 9. They had
You
a great
knew
team.
in '98 they were the best team. They were the best team. You knew they were going to run shot. You know they were going to win the World Series. You just knew. They had your glue guys. You had your grit guys. The team molded. It's not about me. I want my numbers. They just did their part to win the glove.
And what about Seattle? They won 116 games. Where did it get them? The Yankees eliminated them.
Yankees took care of them.
So it's a different. You could go 162-0. You get to the playoffs. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's different.
Now, speaking of Seattle, the Mariners, who won 14 in a row behind before the
they're
streak,
playing the Stros tonight.
and their rookie phenom Julio Rodriguez.
Did you see him in the home run derby?
That
kid's
guy's
got a quick.
insane.
I think they're going to I think they're going to stop the jinx, and I actually think they're going to clinch a spot this year. I think they're actually going to make it.
Oh, they almost did last year.
Yeah.
I think they're actually going to do it.
Don't forget the Yankees tiptoed into last year. The last game of the year they made it.
Last game of the year, it was like a
Yep.
store. It was like a movie kind of. Aaron Judge hits a game-winning base hit on the right down the right field.
Yeah, that
line.
was an infield single, wasn't
An
it?
infield single in a 1-0 game. In a 1-0 game. I remember it clear as day because it was last year. We were at a Sweet 16, Ryan and I, and we remember that game all too well.
Yeah.
And then
Our last show before that happened, we were talking about possible 4-way tie and how that was going to happen.
So who do you have your three teams to win a wild card in AL? Who do you have?
Ryan, go ahead.
3 teams that have in it or that are going to win it.
They're going to basically. Who do you think are going to be 1, 2, 3 in a wild card for the
right.
AL?
I mean, part of me kind of wants to say the whole AL East outside the Yankees, but I'm not. I'll mix it up a little bit. I think it's definitely going to be Toronto. I do think it's going to be Tampa. I do think the Red Sox end up missing out. And I think as much as this whole Seattle storyline would be interesting, I don't think they would, but I don't really know. Like, I think Cleveland has a shot. Like, they're okay, but like, I might have to pick Boston, but I'll go with you. I'll go with you, and I'll go with Seattle because I would like to see it. I would like them to try and get the 7th seed, so I'll go Seattle. So I'll go Toronto, Tampa, and Seattle.
I'm going to go with Seattle playing so hot. I'm going to go with Seattle. Tampa, and I think the White Sox.
Ooh.
Interesting one.
I don't think they'll win the division, but I think this because I'm still eating crow. But I think the Sox are going to win one of the wild cards.
You're still eating crow because you said the Twins were going to be in last place in
Yeah.
the division, and look
Yeah.
at where they are right now.
Well,
I still think the White Sox will get one of the wild cards. They're only, I think, 3 games back.
Yeah.
So
something like that.
either them or the Indians. I'm going to say the Sox.
Is
I think-
another call going for the lot?
But anyway, my 3 wild card teams, I'm going to have it the way it is right now. I think Tampa's going to be 4. I think Seattle's going to be 5. And I think Toronto's going to be 6 with Boston just missing out.
I think because it's going to be so hard for the AL to have 4 teams in the playoffs just because they all play each other in the month of October.
The AL
So
East,
it's going to be hard. So I would love to see it just as like a Yankee fan, just to see like our division is this good. I mean, shout out to the AL East, like they're all above 500, which I can't remember a time where a division's been this stacked. So
Who do you think?
I think Boston's in trouble. They're going to be sellers.
yeah, I do too. I think so.
I think with Sale being out now for the rest of the year again, that kind of stinks.
Is that confirmed that he's out for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it
I
should
feel
be.
bad for that guy. I really do. He's got
Yeah.
a broken finger, so
Do you? So
on his
then-
pitching hand, no less.
So then, do you think there's anybody on the Red Sox that's safe? Because I would say personally, I would say Devers is the only one that's safe on that team.
Yeah, that's it. Bogarts is gone.
I think Bogarts is
Davis
gone.
will be gone. He's going to go to NL team probably.
Yeah.
Jackie Bradley Jr. probably could be
Yeah.
gone.
I don't think he has much trade value. I think really the big 3 trade values on that team is Xander, JD, and then like obviously Ralph. They're not gonna let Devers go, but I don't really know who else like on that team really would have much value. I mean,
Here's another guy besides the Astros, Alvarez. Devers has got the Yankees number 2.
no, that guy kills him.
Just,
That guy kills him.
He's
and
a
that's,
cold
and
killer.
that's dating
specifically.
back to when Chapman gave up that home run to him in Yankee Stadium. that year.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to give a shout out to Lee Mazikian because I have a topic in mind that I think is going to be really, really interesting. So I was going over this with Ryan in the car on the way here, and in my hand right here is the cost for a family of 4 to go to a baseball game. I have all 30 teams ranked here. Number 1, the most expensive trip for a family of 4 is to go to Fenway Park. And this is 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 2 beers, and 2 sodas. This is for 2022 and parking. The Boston Red Sox have a $61 ticket price, $9.50 for a beer, $5.50 for soda, $6 for a hot dog, $23.50 for parking, and that adds up to $324 total. That's the most expensive family
How's
of
that
4
even
trip
possible?
at Fenway Park.
The Yankees should have been number 1.
Well, they're number 3. They're close. And then the Chicago Cubs are at 2.
How's that even remotely possible? The
I mean,
Yankees aren't 1.
I mean, I guess maybe historic ballpark that people actually kind of care like about like, oh, I'm gonna go to Fenway Park because it's a historic ballpark. But again, it's like, how do these teams get that much money? Like, how
Concerts are worse. I work at PNC Art Center, and the up close parking's like $100.
Up close Parker's $100.
Yeah, like a VIP kind of thing.
Oh, VIP. Okay.
Wow.
It was insane. Tuesday night, there was about 18,000 screaming maniacs for the Bat Street Boys.
Now, if the Cubs being at 2 shocks you, guess what else should shock you? The Nationals are at 5.
What?
$280
Does
for a
anybody
family
even
of
go
4.
to the stadium?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, it's shocking that the Nationals, they're more expensive than the Dodgers are.
Wow.
Which
Who took that?
who took that?
Who took that ranking?
I found it from Facebook. It was an official Facebook page I found. I forget what it's called. Triple Play Baseball on Facebook. Go follow them. This is where the list comes from. So your top 5 are the Red Sox, Cubs, Yankees, Astros, and Nationals. Your bottom 5, the Tampa Bay Rays, have the 5th least expensive family of 4 trip.
Well, then
Fitting.
nobody goes to the game. Yeah.
$157. Hey, Frank Walsh, how you doing, man? So the Tampa Bay Rays are bottom 5. The Colorado Rockies are bottom 5. The Pittsburgh Pirates are bottom 5, $150.
What about the Orioles?
The Orioles, believe it or not, they are bottom 1, 2, 3. They're bottom 8.
That's a beautiful stadium. We had fun that year. We gotta
did.
go back.
We did.
No, the Yankees are there now. Let's go.
I feel bad for the Pirates because they have such a beautiful ballpark, but it's very, very cheap to go there.
Where are the Royals? Just for curiosity.
Just out of curiosity, they're in the middle.
Oh, that,
Hey, Matt, are the Phillies in top 10?
The Phillies are all right. So the Giants are 7, Texas Rangers 8. They are just outside the top 10.
11?
They're at 11. They're $208.
That's a nice stadium. You know, I enjoyed the food out there.
Yeah.
That barbecue place is great in the outfield.
Bulls Barbecue.
Bulls.
So-
Yeah, Boobs in Baltimore, and they got what's it? Bulls in
Yeah,
in
Philly.
Philly.
So if you had to guess the least expensive ballpark trip for a family of 4, what do you think it's going to be?
Someone said Patriots.
Believe it or not, it's the Arizona Diamondbacks.
The Snakes. Wow.
We're in that warehouse out there.
Yeah, the only appealing thing's the pool.
A family of 4 can pay $126 to go to Arizona Diamondbacks game. You did? You went to a Diamondbacks game? Oh yeah.
Oh, WBC.
Oh, nice. Huh.
Oh, speaking about WBC, Mike Trout confirmed he's going to play for the national team.
I heard he's coaching.
No, I heard. Yeah.
Is he playing or coaching?
No, Trout's playing for us. He's playing for the U.S. in
Yeah.
which coming
For the World
WBC.
Baseball Classic?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to put a hiatus on that because I put money down every year. Mike Trout gets injured, so it depends on if he's actually gonna be healthy.
Is
for the
he
game.
back? He's still out with all the back spasms.
Yeah,
right?
he is. So
There's another guy with his back,
Yeah.
just like Mattingly and David Wright.
Hey Matt, what's Miami's Marlins prices?
Second from the bottom. They're
Second?
second from the
29
bottom.
the
and
29?
they're- At 29, they're $136
That's
for a
horrible.
family of 4.
That's a nice
There's
new
nobody
state.
there. There's nobody there.
Look where they built it. It's the downtown Miami by the cruise ports over there, not too far from where the Heat play.
The stadium though is really nice.
Yeah.
You want to hear this? The Oakland A's, no one goes to their games. They're rated 12th behind the Phillies. $204 for a family of 4.
Well, that makes sense
Oh,
when you have nobody.
when
to go
they
your
move to
games.
Vegas, it'll be nice.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the reason why I'm shocked that the Dodgers are not top 5, the Giants, is because it's California, and California prices are ridiculously high.
Did you see when they were doing the post game after the
All-Star
after the
game?
home run derby and all the traffic that was outside the stadium?
Yeah, I saw.
People were waiting for almost an hour to get out
That's
of
what
there.
usually happens for the Dodgers games. They show up late and they leave early. That's what they do. They show up late and they leave after the 7th inning.
Rank them. I think the NBA.
Football.
No, I think basketball.
I
Would be
think it's
more, right?
NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB.
I really don't think that California gets traction with hockey. I'm going to put the NHL at 4.
Yeah, I would too. I would think I would go NFL, NBA, MLB, and then NHL.
NHL's 4.
I think the NBA is up there.
Yeah, NBA's up there, especially with the Warriors winning the title this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're bad.
Yeah, my father and his wife, they went to a playoff game in Golden State, and I can't even tell you, I think tickets were like over $2,000. So, speaking of the NBA, we got to turn our attention to this clown over here. No, I'm only kidding. It looks like your Sixers are ramping up for a new arena. What's going on with that?
Yeah, they're saying possible on 31 or 32 new downtown arena in Philadelphia. That's what they're looking for.
Where at?
Downtown Philadelphia. So they're going to leave the Wells Fargo and they're going to leave the complex. They want a farther arena in the city.
So basically, what the Lakers did.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, they also signed Harden. It was only the 1 year. They gave him next year, so it's 2 years, $68.5 million. So he could opt out after next year.
Yeah, and Harden said he was going on a team-friendly deal, so I don't know how that's really that team-friendly.
Who knows?
So it's all then there's a rumor going around that Madison Square Garden is going to be rebuilt again.
wow.
Moving up into the mid 50s off 11th Avenue from the rumor right here.
That's crazy.
Or 7th Avenue, whatever it is. Yeah. Where it originated from.
Well, they're hoping Mitchell brings more traction.
So all that work they did to redo the whole place, and they're looking for a new place again.
I've been there. I've been inside there. It's good place to watch a ball game.
What's that?
MSG.
Yeah.
I missed the old one.
No, I was at the old one. I used to go to the Big East tournament.
Oh yeah,
Those were fun. I used to work security there.
So
I used to have a
I
great
used to
time.
take the train.
Yep.
Matt knows we used to take the train from Hamilton, go right up to Penn Station, go right to the Garden, walk right up, and take the train back to the station.
that's the easy way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the easy way to do it. And the Big East tournaments are fun. They're fun. I remember going to a Big East tournament game when I was like, I think 12 or 13 years old. It's fun.
When it was the original Big East, when you had Syracuse and Georgetown and Providence, not the ACC. BC was in the Big East.
Right.
Now like everyone's doing these mega super conferences like UCLA, USC going to the Big Ten. It's like, what?
No, it's
crazy.
It's bananas.
Hey, Matt, you see this? I'm looking on Facebook. It looks like the WWE's over at the City Field right now.
Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we gotta
heard.
bring that up.
Vinnie Mac retired. Yep.
Vince
finally.
McMahon retires as CEO of WWE. Something very, very shocking. Well, he had the scandal, so
Yeah.
That was all planned out already. That was all planned out.
yeah.
Oh, that's real. No, it's real. He's done.
Yeah, no, he's
finally.
real. He's done. So
The daughter and the husband took over.
a man named Paul Levesque, or for those of you who don't know his real name or his ring name is Triple H, he'll be taking over as the new CEO.
No,
of
Stephanie is, and he's
and
back
so
in
is
charge
Stephanie,
of NXT now.
Yeah, he had it.
He
Yeah,
almost died,
Triple H had a something in
Heart
his heart.
surgery.
Heart surgery. Yeah, that's crazy. But like, hey, it's good. WWE needs to go in a new direction. And I know.
Now is Shane still part of that, or is Shane's done?
Oh no, Shane's done.
Shane's done.
Shane's done.
No, Shane's back. And he's just doing work you don't know about.
He's just doing deep, deep work that no one knows about.
Okay.
Love to have their money.
So, gentlemen,
Who? Where?
What's up?
You know what? You know what's a nice stadium? AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
AT&T Stadium in Dallas is good.
I had a great time there for WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, you went there for WrestleMania.
Yes, I did.
So,
Beautiful stadium, but puts MetLife to shame.
it does.
Oh,
So, gentlemen.
Yes.
I don't know if you were aware, and I don't know if Jim Kelly is aware over there. I plan on having him on because we have a fantasy football top 5 quarterbacks list, and I would love to get his opinion because I know Jim's a big fantasy football guru over there.
A little bit later, though.
A little bit later. But back to the subject of baseball. Second half of the season, who do you think is going to make a big jump in the standings, and who do you think is going to rise to the occasion
in the second half?
in the second half of the year?
Second half.
Be careful of Baltimore.
Baltimore.
They're sneaky. They're sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're sneaky. I think if I was to pick probably a team, I think probably the Giants are going to pick it up a little bit. I mean, they were really good last year. They obviously made the playoffs. I still think they may this year. But I feel like they've kind of underperformed this year. I mean, considering though the Dodgers and Padres are really good, I still think that Giants team is going to be good. And I do think that they're kind of going to bounce into second place by the time the season ends.
Is the kid back with the Padres? Is he still out?
Tatis is still out.
Can I?
That hurt them.
Can I be a homer and say my team because I've been playing without Harper and Segura, and they're still right there in the mix.
Yeah, right now you're tied. You're in a mutual tie for
The Cardinals.
For the Cardinals for the 6th wild
So
card
if the
spot.
season ends, since we beat them 4-3, we will get the notch over the Cardinals.
Okay, here you go. Guess what? Boston is 2 games out of a wild card behind Seattle.
Yeah.
I think Boston tails off, though. I really do. Because I think
Cleveland is 2.5, followed by Baltimore, who's 3.5, with the White Sox, 3.5.
If you're within 3.5 games, you're still alive because 3.5 games is not a big deficit to climb.
Well,
Like, if you're the Texas
here's
Rangers-
where Carl's biting his fingers because the Cardinals and the Phillies are tied with the Giants being a game back in the wild card. That's
Giants will
gonna
get
go
that
down to the
wild
wire.
card.
With
by the
what
end of the day.
with what they were in the beginning with Joe and what they are now with Rob Thompson, I'm happy. You know,
Did Joe Girardi disappear?
I don't know, but I think if they keep it up, I think he's gonna be named the manager for next year.
I think Rob Thompson deserves
Oh yeah, he
a
deserves it
contract.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
We said that Wednesday.
he deserves a contract.
Yeah,
because
Kevin said that. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
another former Yankee, right?
Yeah, another
Rob
former Yankee.
So I think it's gonna be. I know Matt's. No, probably Kevin's probably listening to this when he's at the fan. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be for the wild card. It's going to be the Mets,
I agree.
San Diego, Phillies. Atlanta's going to take the division again. I think Atlanta's going to.
I agree with
Atlanta's
that.
going to overtake them.
The only thing that scares me about that is how good Jacob deGrom comes back. So if Jacob deGrom comes back and plays lights out, then I think the Mets are still going to secure it. But I do think Atlanta's team is better.
Atlanta's going to jump them. I think Atlanta will. They'll both make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think Atlanta's going to win the division.
All right, here we go. If the playoffs ended now, Yankees would be the 1 seed. The Astros would be 2. With Toronto playing Minnesota, and that winner would play the Astros, and the Tampa-Seattle winner would play the Yankees.
Wow.
Now, on the other side, the Mets would play the winner of your Phillies and Brewers, and the Dodgers would play the winner of the Braves in San Diego if it would end right now.
Hey,
Now, if I were the Yankees, I'd like to go on the other side and finish too because I feel more comfortable playing. What do you call?
Toronto or
Minnesota,
Seattle.
Minnesota.
Tampa or
Minnesota.
Seattle, yeah.
I was
Or
gonna say if
Toronto.
I'm the Dodgers, I'm terrified that Atlanta's would be the team to play.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
The reason why you're so comfortable with the fact of the prospect of playing Minnesota is because the Minnesota Twins have
Can't
a
beat the Yankees.
they can't beat the Yankees, and they have a playoff curse for some reason. They just can't win the playoffs anymore. They haven't been able to win.
Well, Texas was like that too. The Yankees used to just eliminate the Rangers every year they play them.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting the second half of the season. But in my opinion, if I had to pick a team second half of the year that could make a jump, I'm looking right here. I got to go underdog here. I'm going to say the Cincinnati Reds just missed the playoffs. I think
Reds?
they're going to just miss the Reds.
Wow. Ooh.
They
How
just,
far are they out?
A lot. Castillo will be gone too, so
Castillo will be gone.
Yeah, he's going to be a Yankee. Juan Soto's got 3 teams he's going to possibly land at.
well the thing is Juan Soto's not gonna get traded till the end of the year. So everybody that says-
Padres, Mets, or Dodgers.
yeah, but like
Dodgers?
you think Juan Soto's gonna be traded during the season?
Yeah, right near the deadline.
Yeah,
why
but
would
like
why would he go to the Dodgers when they have Mookie in right field?
yeah.
What's the Dodgers
They don't
gonna-
really need an outfield. The Dodgers don't really need anything. They're complete.
Don't you know the Dodgers want to become the next Yankee dynasty?
Yeah.
They already made that known. They purposely said that. We want to be the next Yankee dynasty. Oh, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
She's a Yankee fan. I like that.
Yeah. She's a Yankee fan, and on top of that, she's keeping us hydrated.
I also want to thank Lee Mazikian for having us back here again tonight, and also for Matt for having us here, along with Ryan joining us tonight.
Yeah, it's about time.
Sorry. Life comes up and just sometimes life it hits you like a truck. It really does.
What do you got in that cup there?
Oh, it's just water.
Agua.
Carl?
What's a wild one?
Carl, you're drunk.
Carl, you're drunk. So, like what Sal says, once you're part of you do a show with us, you're part of the family. Anytime you want to come in and help us out, more the merrier, man.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
You know, let's flip the coin now.
To football?
Yeah, let's go for it.
You know what? All right, so Christian, you have the Siriani Says Sports intro? Oh boy. Play it, my man.
Let's do it.
I'll catch you Wednesday night, folks.
Enjoy the show.
What up? What up? It's football time, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
Was that
Best
you with
time.
the basketball between the legs?
Yeah,
Who was that?
No, that's
Ryan.
me. That's
That
me.
was Ryan between the leg basketball.
A little
Okay, so
fancy dribbling over there.
Yeah, well, I'm not proud of it.
Hey, listen, I could tell you for days. I gotta give a shout out to James Hartman, my best friend of 12 years. He put the intro together, and it came out so awesome.
Maddie, how's that farmer stand looking now?
Hey, listen, I don't have a farmer's tan anymore, so that's good.
Farmer's stand. That's great.
But anyway, we're gonna get right into this because we have a lot of football to talk about. Football season's just around the corner. Preseason's around the corner, and we have fantasy football too. Because fantasy football, if you're in your fantasy leagues, you gotta get ready.
I don't know what you're doing if you're not.
If you're, all right, so Carl, I know you're a big football guy, so if you want to stick around, you're more than willing to stick around. And Sal,
Sure.
you can do whatever you want as well. So we're gonna get
I'm
right.
gonna go run on Route 35 to see if I pass out.
Alright. So we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna go with our division series prediction, and you know how, and Ryan knows how this works. So every week for the next 8 weeks, we're going to go over a division and go from last place to first place, and you have to explain our positioning and why for each position. And this week, to inflate my ego, like Ryan said, we're doing the NFC East. So
I let you have it.
Inflate your ego.
so we're doing the Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, and Washington Commanders.
I wonder where the Giants come in.
All right, so we're gonna start off with
Second place.
We're gonna start off with fourth place. Carl, it's your turn. So, fourth place. Who in that division is gonna come fourth place, and why?
Washington.
Why?
They suck.
Because yes, and they have now Carson Wentz as their starting quarterback. So he couldn't lead Indianapolis to the playoffs last year. They got rid of him, so now he's with Washington. So they won, I think, 6.
Oh, they're coming to get us.
Yeah, they won 6 games last year with
Alex Smith.
with Taylor Heineke. So I think for some reason he's not a locker room guy. So Washington's gonna be they'll be 6-11. They'll finish in 4th.
6-11. Okay, but still in 4th place.
Yes.
All right, Ryan. Who do you have in 4th place and why?
Sorry to do it to you, Maddie. Got the Giants.
Why?
On paper, they are the worst team in the NFC East. I mean, you can look at Washington and you can say, okay, Carson Wentz, Daniel Jones, not really much better. I think their receiving core and offense in general is better. I think I take Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas, and Antonio Gibson over that whole Giants team. I mean, remind me, Matt, was it 3 touchdowns last year they caught?
5.
So, I mean, not good. Their defense, not great. So I do think the Giants are the worst. And yeah, Daniel Jones has something to prove, but it's not looking too good for them at all. So sorry to do it to you, Maddie.
All right. Well, in 4th place, I have the Commanders. I don't think there's any bright spots over there. Yes, Terry McLaurin got that big extension, 3 years, $71 million. But at the same time, the Commanders' defense is okay with Chase Young. I'm not really too proud of that. Carson Wentz is broken beyond repair. I don't really like him running the offense. The offensive line is okay. And yeah, they have Antonio Gibson and all that good stuff. But like the Commanders just don't do it for me. I take them miles ahead of the Giants.
I debate.
You do. All right, Carl, who do you have in 3rd place and why?
Matt, sorry. The New York Football Giants.
Why?
Like what your cousin said. Daniel Jones. Usually he runs and then he runs and he fumbles. He trips over his own feet and fumbles the ball.
Yep.
So
and he drops the absolute unit.
Yeah. So this is the year for him. So if he don't do nothing this year, next year in the draft, you gotta get a quarterback.
Oh boy, that's true.
So I'm saying they're going to be a little bit better. Instead of from Joe Judge, I told him last show that we were here, I have him at 7-10, but still in 3rd place.
Okay, Ryan, I'm assuming you have the Commanders in 3rd place.
I do.
Why?
I mean, I just think they're better than the Giants, but not on the level of the other 2 teams. Carson Wentz, like you kind of said, is broken beyond repair, but I do think he can make it work with that offense more than Daniel Jones can with his, unfortunately.
I have my New York Giants in 3rd place. I know I said something crazy along the lines of how they were going to go 11-6 on the last Outback show, but I was not drinking enough water on that episode. They're just not ready yet. The offense, innocent till proven guilty. Brian Dable needs to prove that he can turn Daniel Jones around. But like you said, Daniel Jones, Danny drops. He turns the ball over too much. The receiving core is not that good. They're a little bit flat, tight end. The defense, Kayvon Thibodeau, you got him in there. And the offensive line, yeah, with Evan Neal, you still got a lot of parts to fix on the offensive line, defensive line. And that's usually where the Giants historically have been great, offensive and defensive line. And I like Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he'll be something great, but he needs to prove himself first.
So far you guys have the Giants and Commanders back and forth 3 or 4.
All right, so
Okay.
Carl,
I got the odds in front of me, so keep going.
Carl, who do you have in 2nd place and why?
I have my Philadelphia Eagles
Stop
at
looking at the phone.
2nd place.
Why?
Because Jalen Hurts needs to learn how to throw the ball more accurate. He's a good running quarterback. He's a dual threat, but sometimes when he throws, like the playoff game against Tampa, he's erratic. So they're going to be a little bit better with the signing of A.J. Brown and what they are doing. So they have a potential chance to go deeper in the playoffs, but they'll only be one game better in the standings. I have them 10-7.
All right.
I agree. I think Philly's going to be 2nd. I would argue, though, that their roster is better than the Dallas Cowboys, but I do think Jalen Hurts really is the real deal for, like, not the real deal. I do think he is the biggest wild card for that team. And if Jalen Hurts does put it together, and especially like you said, Carl, in the passing game, I think they will take a big leap forward. It's just interesting to see how, like, a team like the Philadelphia Eagles can go from, like, last year, they were projected to be like a bottom 5 team in the NFL to then going and showing out kind of that they're really here to stay because that defense is still really good. Darius Slay is obviously still probably a top 5 to 7 corner. And then A.J. Brown, obviously, we saw what he did. And then Devontae Smith, he did more than I expected him to his first year. So I expect the Eagles to be, I would say maybe a wild card team.
I disagree with the both of you. I have the Dallas Cowboys in second.
Oh, I wonder why.
They have the worst draft class of all 32 teams this year. They lost Amari Cooper. They lost Randy Gregory. That defensive line is so overrated. Dak Prescott has not proven anything since he came into the NFL. And I think that a hobbled Dak Prescott, I would think is worse than Jalen Hurts is. I genuinely believe that the Cowboys' time at the top of the division is over. And and for those of you who don't know, we haven't had a repeat division champion in the NFL since the 2001-2004 Philadelphia Eagles. I think that streak continues, and I think we have the Philadelphia Eagles as division champions.
I can see it. It really rides on Jalen Hurts, and I'm not ready to put that expectation on him yet.
So, Carl, I'm assuming you have the Dallas Cowboys in first place. Please tell me why.
All right, so I do have the Dallas Cowgirls in first place for now. They're going to be 11-6, a game better than the Eagles. It doesn't matter. I still have them losing in the first round of the playoffs, like they did last year to the 49ers. They're finesse. They're finesse football team. Ezekiel Elliott can't stay healthy. He's not like the old Ezekiel Elliott. He can't run for over 1,000 yards. Maybe he'll get with him and Tony Pollard. You don't know who's your 1-2 the dynamic duo back. So, yeah, Dak Prescott could beat up on horrendous teams, but against the 49ers, when they punch you right in the mouth, he crawls in a little hole and cries about it. So, plus with Mike McCarthy, he hasn't won nothing since with Aaron Rodgers left. When he left Green Bay, he only won one championship. Right. So, who knows? There may be turmoil with that. So, if at the end of the year, if they don't do what they're going to do, maybe Jerry Jones may go for Dan Quinn to be their next coach. Until Jerry Jones gets out of there, Dallas is never going to they haven't won a championship in 25 years. Make it 27, make it 28. They're going to be out in the first round of playoffs.
All right, Ryan, why do you have the Cowboys in first place?
I do because I trust Dak more than I trust Jalen Hurts. It really kind of comes down to that because I do think the rosters are comparable. I do think Philly's a little better, but because especially too now, it's only going to be CeeDee Lamb for probably the first half to maybe 10 games of the season because Michael Gallup is coming back from a torn ACL. Mm-hmm. So I do think that hinders them a little bit, but I do like their ground game a lot. I do like the 1-2 punch of Tony Pollard and Zeke Elliott. I do think that's really good. Obviously, I think Dalton Schultz can have a big impact in that offense. Obviously, being the number 2 pass catcher to CeeDee Lamb. And then I think that defense, I think they are more overrated. Like I do think Trayvon Diggs is the most overrated corner in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
I do think Micah Parsons though is legit, and I think that they will be able to manage a lot of teams just because of that pass rush. I do think D-Law's overrated, but I do think Micah is the real deal. So I trust, but it really comes down to I trust Dak Prescott more than Jalen Hurts.
So the one thing about Micah Parsons is he's good rushing the passer, but he doesn't know how to defend the run. That's the one thing about him.
Yeah.
So if you run at him, he doesn't know how to get a fight off the block. And third and long, second long, yeah, he can rush the quarterback, but he's got to learn how to play the run now too. So if there's like say second and short, third and short, and they have the big pulling guard or tackle at him, he doesn't know what to do. So that's the thing too. You know what I'm saying?
That's also happened though due to the transition of more finesse style rushers than big old power rushers because now you see your kind of big boys on the inside, which usually happen, but back then you used to see more bigger guys kind of you set the edge more. There's not the NFL's transition away from a lot of edge setters to just get after the quarterback, and I think that's kind of why we see that happening. So I do think Micah, like you said, does struggle in the run game a little bit, but he does make up for it in the passing situations.
Yeah, absolutely. But the reason why I have the Philadelphia Eagles in first place is for one reason and one reason only. They have an upside. They've upgraded on every position. On defense, they've upgraded. On offense, they upgraded with A.J. Brown. I like Devontae Smith. Jalen Reagor is a little bit of a bust, but I think he can improve his game somewhere along the lines over the course of the season. I really like their offensive line. Their ground game is spectacular. Jalen Hurts, if he can make a year 3 leap, like Josh Allen caliber leap, then the Philadelphia Eagles can end up in first place easily. And
I don't even think they need a Josh Allen type of leap. Like I think if he gets like half better than he was, I think they still win.
They just need Jalen Hurts to be between 55 and 60% in the passing, and that's fine.
Yeah, he needs to be efficient. That's all.
Yeah, it's not just. I also forgot to mention Dalton. Dallas Goedert. Exactly. I forgot to mention him too. The Eagles have a really good passing attack and a really good running game, so they're consistent throughout. And I think the Dallas Cowboys, while they are a finesse team, like you said before, sometimes finesse blows up in your face. And I think that with the Cowboys, they're inconsistent. One year they'll make the playoffs, and then one year they'll go 500, or in this case below 500 because now there's 17 games. So I have the Eagles in first, I have the Dallas Cowboys in second, I have the Giants in third, and I have the Commanders in fourth. Ryan has the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, and Giants, and then Carl has the Commanders, Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys.
Sorry to do it to you,
All
man.
right.
It just has to be done.
And here are the odds. The Cowboys are plus 115 to win it, followed by the Eagles are plus 210, Commanders plus 450, and the Giants plus 700.
What can I say?
I'd take plus 210. I'd take plus 210 any day. I'd go against those betting odds. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better. And like I said, no repeat division champion in almost 20 years. You got to take those odds.
I don't know, Matt. The Vegas never lies.
Vegas never lies, but Vegas isn't always right.
That is true. Majority of the time they are. So,
all right. So those are our NFC East division predictions. Now we're going to do a little segment called Surprise, Surprise.
Yeah.
So in this segment, we're going to have 3 questions. And what we're going to do is we're going to each answer a question of what surprises us for this upcoming season. So I'm going to start. I have a player that will surprise a lot of people this upcoming season. My pick is going to be Kayvon Thibodeau. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is very, very highly touted coming out of college at the University of Oregon. I think that his pass rushing ability is spectacular. In the 2 Utah games, he didn't really prove much. But this is a Giants team that relies solely on having a great defense. And I think Kayvon Thibodeau can surprise a lot of people with his strength and ability, and he can upgrade that Giants pass rush and ride around and they can rally around him. So I think Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the surprise player of 2022. So, Ryan, who's your surprise player of 2022?
my surprise player of 2022, I think for me, is probably going to be Breece Hall. And I'm going with, obviously, the Jets, like as you went with the Giants. But I do think Breece Hall is being, like, he's going to have a crazy season. Like, I think he's having minimum 800 yards this year on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I think he may eclipse 1,400 all-purpose yards this year. But I do think the Jets, with their 1-2 punch and prioritizing the ground game, I think Breece Hall is kind of just, I would say, penciled in for a very good rookie season.
All right, Carl, player that will surprise you a lot in 2022.
Well, I'm going on the limb because I didn't study my sheet.
Unprepared.
Unprepared, but I'm going off the limb because that's what I do sometimes and it works.
Let it ride.
I'm going to go Nakobe Dean.
I like that pick a lot.
So we all go with our teams. Fitting.
We're all going with the teams.
Nakobe Dean, defensive tackle. I think
Defensive tackle, you mean
he's a
linebacker?
Oh, Nakobe Dean?
You mean
Yeah.
Jordan Davis?
Well, Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis, but okay, I'll go with Nakobe Dean.
Interesting. All right, so now teams that will surprise a lot of people in a good way. Ryan, we're going to start with you. Team that will surprise a lot of people in a good way.
Yeah. So for me, I was going back and forth between 2 teams. And I think the 2 teams that I was going back and forth with was, shout out to Carl, but he did mention the Indianapolis Colts, which I do think is interesting. I do think they're going to be better with Matt Ryan, but I think I expected them to be. I think I expect them to win the division. I think a lot of people consensusly do expect that too. So Tim, I'm going to go with, if you guys didn't watch last episode, the Baltimore Ravens. I have a lot of faith in that team. And it's a lot of factors. I think Lamar's going to have a bounce back year. I trust John Harbaugh as much as I trust really any coach in the NFL. I think this team had a lot of injuries last year, and I do think that they are poised this year to maybe not come in first, like I said, but I do think they're poised to have a really, really good season and kind of show the AFC that they're still legit.
Carl, a team that will surprise a lot of people in a good way.
Bad way. We're doing a team who's not going to bad way. I'm going to do with Cleveland Browns.
In a bad way?
Bad way.
Okay. Why in a
Yeah,
bad
they're
way?
having a lot of what's going on over there.
They weren't happy with Baker. They sent him to Carolina. They gave Deshaun Watson all this money guaranteed, and he's in trouble. So now they're bringing in A.J. McCarron, maybe, or Jacoby Brissett to be a gap starter.
They actually brought in Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen also. So they don't know how long. They're saying he may be spent for the year, but they're not too sure. Minimum maybe 8 games.
Yeah.
So they thought they were going to be in a playoff to contend. Now they're going to be in the bottom. Cleveland Browns are going to be a disappointing season this year.
For me, team that's going to surprise me in a good way, I'm going to ride or die with what I said in the division predictions. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to surprise a lot of people in a good way. Like I said before, their offense is balanced, their defense is balanced, everything about them and plus the NFC is wide open. Anyone who's anyone can do well in the NFC, unless you're the Packers, Rams, and Bucks, and you're just already at the top. So I think a new team's going to rise to the occasion. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are that team that's going to rise, and it surprised a lot of people for how well they're going to run the ball, throw the football, and defensive play. And I like Nakobe Dean a lot. I think he was drafted way too low.
Well, he got drafted because he was injured.
Yeah, and he didn't want to get surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's going to prove a lot of people wrong that he's better than he was drafted. So that's why I had the Philadelphia Eagles as my surprise team in a good way. Now, Ryan, surprise team in a bad way.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the Miami Dolphins. I do, because I think this team is receiving a lot of hype, and it's warranted. I mean, when you bring in Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle, and you look at that defense with Xavier Howard, with Byron Jones, with Jalen Phillips, they drafted last year. They're gonna be good, but I do think a lot of it rides on Tua, and I have really no hope in Tua. I think that Tua is gonna be gone next year, and I think considering what the public thinks about the Dolphins, that they're gonna come second. I think the Dolphins are probably best third. They might have a shot to be last. I don't believe in Tua at all.
All right, so teams that I think is gonna surprise a lot of people in a bad way. I was going back and forth on this one. I'm gonna say the San Francisco 49ers.
Bad way.
In a bad way, because I don't like the Trey Lance experiment. I think Trey Lance is going to change the offense in a way, but he's going to have some growing pains this year. I mean, George Kittle even said it's really hard to pick who I want the starter to be because they're both different. But I think Trey Lance, yeah. This is a homer answer here. I got Brian Dable as my surprise head coach that's new to the NFL. The reason why is because if you've seen what Brian Dable did in Buffalo with Josh Allen leaped massively from year 2 to year 3 and from year 3 to year 4. He leaped tremendously, and he's grown amazingly. And I think Daniel Jones is going to thrive in Brian Dable's offense and get better. Yes, the Giants are not going to succeed on all counts. I have them finishing in third place in the NFC East. But I think that Daniel Jones is going to improve to the point where now ownership will have way more confidence in him being the starter for the future.
Now, we going by new or previous head coaches?
New head coach.
All right, so to the new my surprising team will be the Denver Broncos, because with them getting Russell Wilson, so with them losing, with them having Teddy Bridgewater last year, they won 7 games. But now with Russell Wilson, maybe they can vie for maybe a wild card. Maybe he could get 9, maybe 8 or 9, and be in a mix.
That defense is legit too.
But for the NFC, actually, I'm going to go with your pick also, Brian Dable, because he's coming back with coming from Buffalo, and he helped Josh Allen raise his bar up this past season. They should have won the divisional game against the Chiefs, but it's another day, another story. But I got Brian Dable, and Sal also has a comment of who he also likes for the coach of the year. Also,
Who
No,
do you
Brian
like?
Gable.
Brian Dable. You
I-
do? Wow.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's
You know what? I don't. You know, teams on paper is paper. Until you get on the gridiron, you know, teams are different. It's like any other sport. You can pick the Lakers every year to win something, and they don't. So who knows? The Giants might surprise everybody.
good
we
point.
we also have
Oh, also, I got a breaking news story
yes.
here.
Before we continue,
Oh,
All
the
right.
Mets made a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They got Daniel Volbeck.
Wow.
Uncle Stevie's making moves in
Already making
Queens.
moves at the trade deadline already before the trade deadline even happens. So we have breaking news there, and that was our segment called "Surprise, Surprise."
hey Matt, why don't we have your uncle give his opinion
Okay.
of who he thinks is ranks the NFC East and his surprises and
Get over here.
yeah. So let's have
Yep.
your uncle have his comment.
Which one am I answering?
You're gonna answer the first question. Who your placement in the NFC East?
So I'd have to go very similar with Junior with this. So I'm going with Dallas as number one, only because you got to go with the best quarterback in the division, and Dak is the best quarterback in the division. I do agree with Matt in the sense that I do think that the Philadelphia Eagles has the best roster, but the questions about Jalen Hurts is just too much for me to pick them to win the division. 3, I'm going to put the Giants at 3. Okay. I do think the Giants are going to have a better year. I think their defense is still horrendous, and I do think they have a lot of problems, but I think they did a good job drafting. I think Evan Neal's going to help solidify that line. I think there's still a question with Saquon Barkley. Which Saquon do you have, the 100% Saquon, or is this 75% with Saquon?
Right.
And in terms of the Redskins, and this is ironic because I personally think that they have the best coach in the division,
Right.
They do.
Agreed.
but the worst roster. So again,
I'd argue there it's better than the Giants.
yeah, I think Dable though is going to be a big jump for that team, and I think he is going to help the offense. But again, their defense is just too weak and too all over the place for me to really give them any credibility. So I'm
Washington's?
going.
Washington's
No.
the Giants.
The Giants.
I was gonna say Washington defense is good. That front four is good.
I see 6-11, 7-10. I see, Philly probably winning about 9 or 10 games and probably topping off Dallas with 11 wins. But yeah, I think Dallas is going to take a little bit step back from last year.
Yeah.
How's that?
That sounds good. That sounds really, really good.
What other questions you got for me?
All right. So, player that will surprise a lot of people this upcoming season.
That's going to surprise us, right? So someone that's going to come out of nowhere.
I think I know who it is.
Elijah Moore. I think Elijah
expecting
Moore.
Sauce Gardner.
No, he's not a surprise. Everybody knows Sauce is going to kill it. But Elijah Moore, I think, is going to take a big step forward for the Jets, and he's going to put up wide receiver 1 numbers. We saw flashes of it. I think that the thing is he just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Team that will surprise a lot of people in a good way.
In a good way. That's pretty interesting. Who's going to take a step forward? I got to think about that. I think the Denver Broncos. I think the Denver Broncos with a quarterback is going to take a big step forward. With Russ being one of the top quarterbacks. So I think that would be my surprise team.
And then surprise in a bad way.
The Arizona Cardinals. I think
Fitting.
that team is completely overhyped. What the collapse you saw last year was not an aberration. I
Major
think that's who
collapse.
they are. I think that quarterback is overrated
And overpaid.
And overpaid. So giving him the money is really just whatever hunger he had is pretty much sated. And you're gonna really see a big step back with that team.
Especially with the motivated Kyler Murray this time.
What's Aaron Rodgers going to do this year? Is he actually going to stay around for a full season, or is he going to walk?
No, he'll stay.
He'll stay.
He'll win a
stay.
division. They'll
He'll
win a
stay.
division.
Division champion, definitely. But as far as like how far they'll go in the playoffs is a big question because there are only 3 good teams in the NFC: the Bucs, the Packers, and the Rams. And I don't think the Packers match up well with either of those 2 teams. I genuinely think that we're going to get Bucs Rams in the NFC Championship
I
game.
think you're seeing a transition with the Packers, though. They started it 2 years
A.J.
ago where they're
Dillon.
going more to they're strengthening their defense, and they've really improved their running game. So they're not just an aerial team anymore. As much as Aaron is probably the best in the business, it's not so much reliance on him. And I think he showed some masterful games, especially the game when he was down his top 3 receivers and still won that game. So
that was against the Cardinals as well.
Right. So I think you're going to see a transition, right, with the Packers. So they're going to win games in different ways than you're used to seeing them.
See, I agree with your uncle and your dad. I see how you have the Rams. The Packers are still going to be top in the North.
Yeah.
You also have you have the Rams. See, I'd say maybe with top 3. The 49ers match up against the Rams. If Jimmy G doesn't have that meltdown in the NFC Championship game and they make that pick, the Rams are not even in the Super Bowl.
Not even that. I think the Niners match up against the Packers actually the best. I do disagree with you, Matt. I do think the Packers actually match up better against the Bucks and the Rams because of kind of the A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones 1-2 punch, especially if they're playing in Lambeau. There's nobody that, and I said it back then, nobody knows how to throw the ball better than Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau, especially now with you have A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones just going to pound the rock on you all day long in the freezing cold. So I think they match up actually good against those other teams.
Because after he won, Matt Stafford, he won the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Okay? He got his money now. Is he going to go back to old Matt Stafford now?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think he proved us all wrong by winning that Super Bowl that he's not the old Matt Stafford. I think also that offense actually, I would argue, got probably as good. I mean, they did lose Robert Woods and they did lose Odell, but they did bring in Allen Robinson, who I actually am higher on than a lot of people are, but it depends.
Oh, look at that. We have a surprise guest here. James Hartman's in the house, the man behind the intro.
What's up, buddy?
The man behind the intro for Siriani Says Sports is here. The creator of the intro. Wow. That's a surprise. All right. Now, you guys brought up Kyler Murray and his new contract, $230.5 million over 5 years, $160 million guaranteed. My goodness.
Yikes.
So I wanted to have a talk about this because this just opened a lot of eyes, and it's questionable because it's so
questionable. It's not even questionable. It's just downright stupid.
It's downright stupid, but at the same time, you gotta think he wanted his money, he got it. And what this also means is, what will this mean for Lamar Jackson? What will this mean for the future for Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert? So
they're gonna get theirs. They're gonna get theirs.
I'm gonna start with Carl first. What do you think of Kyler Murray's new contract?
Basically, Arizona gave him the money so he wouldn't leave. So, but what I heard is he's not a good locker room guy. It's all about me. The way to defend Kyle Murray is if you keep him in the pocket and you don't let him run around, he'll make turnovers. As long as you penetrate and you can get him. Once you break down, then he'll run around and then he'll have those 30-yard runs. There's times where he'll just heave the ball up and it's intercepted. So, okay, 5'11" Cliff Kingsbury guy. But like what you said, they were 7-1 last year, and then they collapsed and lost the division, and they didn't do nothing in the playoff game against the Rams. He won it out. He won it out.
They got embarrassed.
Okay, you 3 football buffs. I'm going to spill this out.
What's up?
They got predictions here already.
They do?
For Kyler Murray?
No, everything.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
They got the AFC. The East, they picking the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
That's
down.
easy. That's easy.
The North, they got the Bengals.
Yes.
The South, they got the Colts.
Okay.
They got the West, they got the Chiefs.
No, I would disagree with that.
Wild card, they got the Broncos and Chargers and Ravens.
Wow. Okay, I see that. I would flip some things. I would actually probably have the Chargers winning that division, I think.
I have the Raiders.
You had the Raiders winning the whole AFC West?
With them getting Devontae Adams.
That defense is still garbage, though.
Yeah, but that's an extra guy that Derek Carr has now with Walker.
Waller.
Sorry.
Waller.
Bueller.
But, yeah, I think
I'm shocked you say the Raiders.
I think the Raiders.
I think it's going to turn them around offensively to have Devontae Adams, but their defense, like Ryan said, is just not up to par. And I think we had our division predictions. I put the Raiders in 3rd place in that division. So,
are you ready? You ready for the NFC?
Yes, I'm ready for the NFC.
They got the Eagles in the East, the Vikings in the North.
No.
They got the Buccaneers in the South.
Easy.
And the Rams in the West.
Easy.
With the wild card, the Packers, Saints, and Cardinals.
What do you guys say?
I actually agree with the Saints. I think the Saints can be sneakily a lot better than people think they are.
I agree with the Saints in the wild card, but
Yeah,
why would he? Kirk Cousins? No way.
no shot.
way.
No way. No way.
Vegas is
No,
crazy.
no,
Vegas
no,
is
no,
tripping
no, no.
there.
You see,
No.
I can agree with everything, but I would say Arizona and the fact that the Vikings are winning that division
No,
because
no.
I think Arizona's going to come third, and I think the Vikings are not even going to make it in the playoffs. I would go probably like Philly or Dallas, the Saints, and then probably San Fran.
I have a team in that division who's going to be sneakier good, but won't have the more wins. I think the Lions will make a jump from maybe 3 wins to maybe 6.
Well, that's what me and Matt actually predicted. We actually said they would be better than the Bears.
We predicted
I
that
think
on
the Lions are
episode.
going to be a little bit better, but not good enough.
Now these people here that picked the Vikings in the North was CBS. They
CBS.
said they believe Green Bay's best window to win a Super Bowl has passed.
Which
They're
is
not
true.
buying. They're not buying the wide receiver group. Getting long in some areas have lost some recent dominant players
They're
like
They're looking at
Smith.
the defense. They're looking at the defensive line,
Yeah.
saying that Preston and Zadarius Smith are getting
Yeah.
older. But like still, like that secondary now with Jair coming back is going to be legit
and
again.
they're saying first year head coach and GM aren't under real pressure yet.
For
For the Vikings. Yeah.
oh, okay. I do like their head coach though, Kevin O'Connell. I do like him.
Now, I still do Aaron Rodgers. Here's your what you rank your quarterbacks. You have Aaron Rodgers,
Everybody else,
everybody else. So you have Aaron Rodgers, then you could probably do
Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, everybody else.
yeah, so basically, yeah. So I would do, if you want, yeah, so Matt Goff, I know, Jared Goff maybe over, but
Justin Fields, maybe.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Has Uncle Ben officially retired?
Yeah, Ben's done.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger's done.
Yeah.
So they got they got Kenny Pickett
Mitch Trubisky.
and Mitch Trubisky, but they're saying that Mitchell Trubisky may be the opening day starter
He is probably.
for the Steelers.
All right. Wow, that's amazing, those betting odds. But I want to get back to Kyler Murray. Ryan, I want to get your opinion on the whole Kyler Murray contract because you said from the jump, this is crazy.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
Like you said it from the jump, this is
Not
crazy.
not even for the Cardinals, but for the Chargers and for the Bengals and for the Ravens and for a lot of teams actually that are going to have young studs. So it's bad because, and I think the Cardinals are at fault, but it's really the Cleveland Browns that are actually at the real fault because now you gave a guy with everything that he's had a fully guaranteed contract. Kyler's is now fully guaranteed, but now that's going to be the new norm. Now is everybody's going to want. Well, college actually isn't fully, but everybody's going to want a fully guaranteed deal or a massive amount of money. And it's obviously seen now that every quarterback wants to one-up each other. And actually, I saw the stat actually that Kyler Murray is actually the second highest annually paid quarterback, which to me is disgusting.
Wow.
And I said it to you and everybody else, but this makes the Patrick Mahomes deal look better and better by the minute.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The Patrick Mahomes contract, $504 million. It now looks good. Doesn't look too bad after all.
I mean, now he's getting $45 million a year now, where there's still 3 quarterbacks that are paid more than him: Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Kyler Murray. Which I'd argue he's still better than all. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, he's still better than the top 2.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Like at least Patrick Mahomes plays for his money and he deserves it. Kyler Murray has done nothing.
Yeah,
he's done nothing yet, and until he proves himself,
Russell Wilson.
Kyler Murray is only going to be a run up the middle quarterback that can scramble, and he's one clean hit away from it being all over.
I mean, he's not as good of a runner as Lamar. I mean, he's probably a better passer than Lamar, but like now the Ravens are really at a bad spot.
Ravens are in a really bad spot.
Let's see. Russell Wilson, 33, has 1 year remaining and no guaranteed money left on his $140 million deal that he signed with Seattle.
Yeah, he'll get a new one next year though.
So
he is due $19 million base salary and scheduled to count another $27 million against the salary cap for this year.
No, they'll up him. They'll up him in training camp.
Yeah, they'll help him in training camp. But like the Ravens are in a bad spot here because now you got Lamar Jackson, who is a former MVP, but the last 2 seasons, Lamar Jackson has not lived up to his name. And who's behind me? Oh, is that Curtis Martin behind me? Oh boy, the former Jet that we got a couple Jet fans in the audience over here. But like Lamar Jackson has had an MVP award in 2019, but ever since the playoff against the Titans, he hasn't been the same. He really hasn't. His passing mechanics are not as good as any of the top 5 quarterbacks, which is why I don't put him in my top 5 fantasy quarterbacks, which by the way, stay tuned for that. He's a good runner, but I've said this before. I think that Ravens offense was more prolific with Tyler Huntley at the helm than Lamar Jackson.
They might have been, but again, that offense was bad last year. I mean, they had their top 3 running backs all go down to ACL tears, so that is really kind of unfortunate. And I do think they got worse with losing Marquise Brown. But, I mean, now if you're the Ravens, though, it's kind of like the same thing with the Cardinals just did. You're going to pay him not to leave.
Interesting. All right, so
I also have an interesting proposition to you now.
Yes.
Like for you and Carl, but it's interesting. And I've seen it like floating around like for the past couple of years, but it's like, when does it not become worth it to pay a quarterback all this money and kind of risk drafting a new one because it's more worth it, right, to draft a quarterback every 3 to 4 years and let the previous guy walk because it's more cap efficient. I mean, just look at it. Really, outside the Rams, a lot of teams that go far have guys on rookie deals.
That's correct.
So at what point does it become not worth it to pay guys $50 million?
Absolutely. That's a good question. All right, so we said we were going to get into fantasy football. We're going to get into fantasy football right now.
Oh, yes.
What I need, though, is I need Jim Kelly out here, and I'm hoping I can get someone to get
I
him.
think he's inside.
Yeah, he's probably inside.
Hey, Mal, we got more people in the audience now.
We got more people in the audience now. For those of you who just joining in,
we'll
welcome. All right, so top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. This is a debate that me and Ryan have had, and I'm going to have this on a debate show called Light 'em Up. But I wanted to warm myself up because I'm really, really excited about this debate because I've thought really hard about this top 5.
Oh, I know you have.
I've thought really hard. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where Patrick is thinking and his brain is smoking. Excuse me,
SpongeBob.
can you get Jim Kelly out here, please?
SpongeBob.
Jim Kelly's here, the quarterback?
Jim Kelly?
Not the quarterback, Jim Kelly.
Did he come up from Orchard Park?
Get out
You
here.
say Joey Gallo? No, Jerry Cowell. Oh, he's dead.
Jim Kelly is actually in remission. He's no longer cancer free now.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's good for him. Jim Kelly's a good man.
Good work.
But when I say Jim Kelly, I mean James Kelly, the manager of the beautiful Outback
Well, you
Steakhouse.
got us a little excited there. I thought we would have to
that
famous.
would have been something. All right, so
Don't get our hopes up like that, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
oh, by the way, stay tuned, guys, because after the show we're having an auction. We have a lot of stuff here that we're going to give out. We have
we're auctioning off Call, right? I'm like,
we have this Batman tuxedo here, and we have this Boston Red Sox inspired suit over there that makes me want to puke.
Which
but-
will-
the Orioles got a runner on third base.
Which will be burned.
Right at the Boston's restaurant makes you want to puke. You don't say that
Hey,
on live
listen,
radio.
Hey, listen, it's all good. He knows. The boss knows. Lee Mazikian is great, but it is a good suit.
Where's Lee? What
What's up?
size?
That's the question we all want to know, isn't it?
What size is
It's
it?
a large. I say large.
It's a large. If you want a Batman inspired suit, it's a large. What's up? Yeah.
I got the
It'll
Undertaker's
fit-
urn in my car. $500.
It'll fit anybody. It'll fit anybody. All right, one size fits all, exactly. All right, but let's get into this top 5 fantasy quarterback debate. I want Jim Kelly out here. But while we're waiting for Jim Kelly, I gotta give a shout out to Outback Steakhouse in Middletown, man, because I've worked for this place since 2015.
Bloomin' onions. Let's
give
go.
or take a couple years. So
Get
give
him
or
out
take
here.
7 years. Lee Mazikian is the best owner I've ever worked for, and I mean that from
Look at
here.
that.
He's awesome. He promoted this event. He got all you guys to come out here. He's awesome with employees. He's a diehard Red Sox fan, which I'm personally fine with. But he's great to talk to. He knows how to bring people in here, and the people that work in this restaurant, they work for Lee because Lee is the man.
That's
So
the one.
please give a hand for Lee Mazikian. Seriously,
Where is he?
He's inside, I
Lee
think.
Mazikian is the man.
Go on,
You
Jim.
blame anybody to be
And
inside?
also, I want to give a shout out to a couple other sponsors for Siriani Says Sports while we have the time.
Yep.
We sponsor the Grace Foundation of New York. And for those of you who don't know what the Grace Foundation of New York is about, it's a caring center for people with autism, whether it's teens, adults, families. It's a phenomenal cause. And that's why we're auctioning all this stuff out, because we're trying to raise money for Grace Foundation for people with autism. And it's not just Grace, it's Jag One Physical Therapy. They have a thing for people with autism. It's the Songbird Foundation. We're having an event on August 6th in Staten Island. The high school baseball senior games at the Mid-Island Little League Complex. And actually, Sal, this is the first time I'm asking you this year. If you want to go to the Mid-Island Little League Complex to see the high school baseball senior games for this event for people with autism, where do you go?
Staten Island. No. Yeah, well, if you're going from Jersey, it's right over the outer bridge, right off the Victory Boulevard exit. Just hang a right turn at the light and can't miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a phenomenal event. It's not that far away. So if you're crossing Staten Island, it's not that far away. And I see Jim Kelly out here right now.
Jim Kelly to the stage.
I see Jim. He's coming. He's coming.
We got excited. We thought it was the quarterback.
All right.
Jim's walking
All right.
around. Where's our food?
Jim, we have a top 5 for you. So, top 5 fantasy quarterbacks for 2022.
He's waiting.
He's
And
ready.
for all you bet makers out there,
The
hold
man's
on.
hard at work.
He's hard at work. Okay.
We got to get a sports betting company to be our sponsor.
We really
That'd
should.
make a
Really
lot
That'd be
should.
something. That'd be something. All right. So it's not just those foundations. We also sponsor Valix Enterprises, which is a full service commercial contractor that has been servicing New Jersey for the last 20 years. We sponsor DAS Technology Consulting, which is good for technology purposes. And here's Jim right now. All right. So actually, you need to sit over there,
We
man.
need a chair.
You sit over there,
We need a
buddy.
chair for him.
All right. So
Get him on hot mic.
it is time for the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks of 2022. Jim knows this all too well. He's a big fantasy guy. Jim, are you ready?
Did we say all yours? No.
We didn't say all your.
I'm first.
You know what? Since you're the guest, you go first. Top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. You have to explain why for each one.
Ooh. All right. Well,
You're on
number
the spot.
1. Do you want me to start from 5?
5 start from 5.
5 to 1?
Yeah.
All right, for 5, I'm going with the guy that he's a big runner. I'm going Jalen Hurts at 5.
Wow.
He's not a big thrower, but I think those touchdowns and that running game he has, I think it's going to really put him at the edge. They break him into the top 5 for fantasy.
Okay.
4, I think Lamar. I think Lamar is going to be
Jackson.
at 4. I think he's going to have a big year coming back off injury. I think he's going to run a lot. They added a couple weapons for him in the draft and everything. So I think he's going to be up there.
Okay.
3, I guess I have to go with Patty Mahomes.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think I need to explain why for Patty Mahomes. He's Patty Mahomes. 2, everyone thinks he's 1, but Josh Allen.
Wow.
Josh Allen's 2, I think. Just because my boy in the powder blue, Justin Herbert's going to be number 1.
I had a feeling you were going to go in
I
that
have
route.
to be biased. I have to put Herbert at 1.
I had
Although
a
he
feeling-
probably will be 2.
All right. Now you're ready for my list.
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm hyped up for this. I've gotten this list all battened down. I've been going day after day about this.
weeks.
I've had this planned for weeks. I'm hyped about this. I got a debate show on this, and I'm ready. All right, number 5. Give me Derek Carr at number 5. Why? Because you got Devontae Adams. You got Darren Waller. You got Hunter Renfrow in the slot. You got Josh Jacobs, who can do a little bit of everything in the passing game.
I like it.
And he's a safe runner, too.
Well, you don't have that one in the AFC West. Come on.
Well, see, it's fantasy. Fantasy is different.
It is different.
It's different.
It
So
is.
Derek Carr with that prolific offense, and you got to remember, Derek Carr and Devontae Adams were college teammates. That helps out a lot for fantasy purposes. I mean, look at what happened with
Derek
Joe
Carr was
Burrow
in
and
the
Jamar
MVP
Chase.
race last year
Yeah.
for the first 8
Yeah.
weeks of the season.
Yeah, exactly. MVP race caliber. So that's why I have Derek Carr at number 5. Number 4, I have a man that's going to live up to the expectations of and not have a Super Bowl hangover. Give me Joe Burrow at number 4. Why? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon's a good, valuable running back to have in fantasy in the passing game. Tight end's a little bit shaky with no CJ Uzama, and they have Drew Sample as their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that Joe Burrow has an elite arm. He's not really that much of a runner, so fantasy points are not going to get on the ground. But I still think passing-wise, Joe Burrow's got to be up there. Number 3, I have your boy Justin Herbert at number 3.
He's got to be there.
He's got to be at number 3. He's got to be in the top 5. Why? Because I got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are really good. I like Jalen Guyton. I think he's a very underrated third receiver.
Mhm.
Tight end, like I said, is a little bit shaky, and you got Austin Eckler too.
Austin Eckler.
So that's
He can do
why.
it all.
So that's why I have him at number 3. Number 2, I have Patrick Mahomes.
Mhm.
Losing Tyreek Hill is the reason why he bumps from number 1 to number 2 for me, because you don't have that yak threat anymore. Because in fantasy, if you complete a pass to Tyreek Hill, he'll take it 70 yards because that's a lot of
Exactly.
yak.
Mhm.
So that helps out your quarterback in fantasy. Now that you don't have that in Tyreek Hill, you still have Travis Kelce, which is good, and you have Sky Moore and Juju and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and you have a plethora of running backs that you can use in the passing game. But not having that yak threat is going to kill Patrick Mahomes a little bit in fantasy, but not
100%.
enough. And then I have Josh Allen number 1 because
Gotta.
Isaiah McKenzie, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis broke out in the playoffs. He's going to have a great year. O.J. Howard,
They just added
Dawson
Jameson
Knox.
Crowder.
They still have Jamison Crowder. Exactly.
They added him.
Like they added him. It's all that stuff. Like he's just loaded with weapons. He's an aggressive runner.
Mhm.
That's something I forgot to mention with Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is a scrambler,
He
which
is.
is good for fantasy points.
Mhm.
And then with Allen, he's not that much of a runner as Patrick Mahomes, but when he runs and takes off, he's an aggressive runner. He fights for every single yard and every single fantasy point. So to recap my top 5, I got Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow, and Carr.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
So at 5, I got Joe Burrow. And kind of like Matt said, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. Kind of enough said. I think he's lower on the list because he doesn't run as much as some other quarterbacks. But at 4, I'm actually going to go Jalen Hurts. I'm going to have Jalen Hurts at 4, kind of just because of that dual threat running back thing. And I mean, obviously, as we know, for us fantasy players, that rushing yards are better than passing yards. So those dual threat type of running backs are better. And plus for touchdowns, they get 6 points on the ground instead of 4 points in the air. So I think Jalen Hurts is going to get a lot of rushing touchdowns as well as a lot of rushing yards. But at number 3, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes, which may be a little bit lower, but kind of what Matt said, Tyreek Hill takes a lot of steam out of that tank for Patrick Mahomes. I do think McCole Hardman, Juju, that whole offense, they're still going to be nasty, but I think Patrick Mahomes,
elite offense, but not.
Yeah, he's not on the caliber he was. At 2, I am going to go Justin Herbert. I'm sorry, he can't be 1 yet.
I'm biased. Like I said, I'm biased.
It's all right. We all are, but I'm going to go Justin Herbert at 2. I think Eckler takes a lot of points from Justin Herbert just because that 100%. Ground attack is like legit. But I think that's why I have him at 2 under Josh Allen, just because they kind of had no running game.
Right.
I mean, I do think James Cook's
going to do something
I think James
incredible.
Cook's going to surprise people. I don't think he's going to be definitely a top running back.
Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, maybe. But it's family heritage. He might be. But I do think, that team, they air it out. Like, they're the definition of just air it out.
Yep.
And, I mean, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, it might be one of the best 1-2 punches in the NFL. So I do have Josh Allen at number 1, but it's not bad. So I have Josh Allen, I have Justin Herbert, I have Patrick Mahomes, I have Jalen Hurts, and I have Joe Burrow.
All right, Carl, you're up.
All right, so I usually don't play fantasy, but these are the guys. I don't do fantasy, but these are the guys who I have. At 5, I have Josh Allen because he took the extra step. Josh Allen took the extra step last year in a playoff game. Literally, they were going back and forth the second half, and then in the fourth quarter, crazy fourth quarter, Buffalo was going on top, then Kansas City, and then Buffalo came back. They had the game-winning drive to win the game, and then Buffalo gave up that stupid field goal. I was like, what the heck's going on here?
Okay.
But I still have Josh Allen at 5, okay?
All right, number 4.
4, I have Burrow. I have Joe Burrow at number 4. No rookies, no second sophomore slump. With what he came back from his ACL, MCL. Who would have thought Cincinnati would go to the Super Bowl, but they took care of it. Okay, so everybody coming back in the LSU connection with Jamar Chase and all that.
Yeah.
So with him running around passing, I have him at 4.
All right, number 3.
Now 3, it's going to be a surprise to everybody here and in the audience. I have the 2-time defending NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers. I still have him. He's getting up there, but he still could fling the ball. And, yeah, he lost Devontae Adams and Devontae Scaling, but he still could get it done. So
depends how much is A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones getting the ball.
But he still can get him out in the backfield. If once in a while, he still could be sneaky and get a first down once in a while with his legs.
He could.
So that's what I have. Number 2, I have Justin Herbert.
Herbert, okay.
Jay Herbert, phenomenal rookie year. No sophomore slump. This year, hopefully, he has his weapons. Hopefully, he can lead the Chargers to the playoffs. And then, number 1, how can you go against Patty Mahomes?
You can't.
You can't. He can fling it, he runs, all that stuff. From you guys don't know, his dad was an ex-MLB baseball pitcher for the New York Mets. So he's that good. They got the dynasty of what New England did with Brady and Belichick. Now it's Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes. Hopefully they could actually go back and more with all those numbers that he has. But with them doing Juju Smith-Schuster and Nicole Holman and all those guys, Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes back. So I have Patty Mahomes number 1.
All right, so I want to ask Senior here a question because he's been pretty active. What top 5 do you like the best?
Not anymore. That offense.
Not anymore.
That offense took a step.
Not anymore.
Who's he throwing to? CeeDee Lamb. That's it. No Cooper. No Gallup. That's one guy.
CD Dalton.
So here's what
The runners. You got to go with the runners.
See, here's the thing. I think it's sneaky that you guys put Jalen Hurts in your top 5. But my question is, how is he going to be good throwing the football this year? He has the weapons to do so, and he has rushing value, which is good for fantasy.
He's got a huge rushing value.
Yeah,
that team's run first.
Yeah, they're a run heavy offense, pound the ball, but like arm strength and passing.
But you have to remember, he got A.J. Brown this year. I have Lamar above him.
I would say, because I think that offense is better. I do think Jalen Hurts provides less in the run game than Lamar does, but I do think that Jalen Hurts has better dump off options. I mean, Lamar does have Mark Andrews, which obviously is really nice, but I think A.J. Brown's one of the most underrated yak receivers in the NFL.
See, here's why I don't have an NFC quarterback in my top 5. Okay,
because you're biased.
Oh, yes, that I'm a little biased. We all are a little biased here when making this list. But I gotta say, like, the AFC is just so prolific offensively. They're stacked offensively that you can't take away any of the quarterbacks and just say, I have Matt Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady on the outside looking in from the top 5. But like, you can't go wrong with the college connection. You can't go wrong with the college connection with Carr and Adams, and you can't go wrong with the college connection between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. But then, like, Justin Herbert, he threw for 5,000 yards in just his second year, and then Patrick Mahomes running and throwing, he's elite. And then Josh Allen, like, he's probably gonna be poised to win MVP this year.
Hey Matt, Table 96 wants to know what happened to Russell Wilson.
What happened to Russell Wilson?
How come he's not in the top 5?
He's not top 5 anymore.
No. I know. I remember the 2020 philosophy.
You're going to see a drop-off.
You're going to see a drop-off in age. You're going to see a drop-off because... Yeah, but he's getting up there in age, so why would you expect him to revive his career, shave 10 years of his life?
It's the year of the young studs.
Boy, this is where we miss Kevin.
But, like, I like the Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts a lot on your list. But, like, passing is a big question for me. That's why I don't have him on there. And Lamar Jackson, like, passing is a huge question because Lamar Jackson, as good as he's on the ground, he hasn't been able to recoup his success. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. According to CBS, Josh Allen has led the NFL in fantasy points the last 2 seasons, in each of the last 2 years. And the reason why I don't have Aaron Rodgers on the list is because he scored 1 point against the Saints in week 1 of the fantasy season last year. And Ryan Sr. had him, and he knows what I'm talking about. You had Rodgers and Devontae Adams. But like, so Jim, we're in a fantasy league together. We're in a dynasty league. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm just looking forward to the football season, to be honest with you. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. But I'm excited for our matchup. That's what I'm eyeing up. You and me are. I think it's like week 8. We have a matchup.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
Can I preface one thing now? Can we not draft quarterbacks in the first round for God's sake, please?
I agree.
I know someone took Josh Allen
number 1
overall.
Always be a running back.
Yeah, but when it's not you and you're sitting there, you're like, oh, this is nice. You're like, it's nice, but don't do it.
In dynasty leagues, Josh Allen. In regular leagues, I'd go with Jonathan Taylor.
I go Derrick Henry.
Really?
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's about 5.
Jonathan Taylor showed
Derrick
his over
Henry,
CMC last year.
I think Tennessee uses him too much and he gets beat up.
Yeah, but he had a lot of rest.
Yeah, that's true.
He had a lot of rest. One thing that I
Derrick
definitely...
Henry is when he come back for the year. Book it right now. That's you got to place your money on.
All right, so now while Jim is here, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to do one fantasy tip from each of us. That's me, Ryan, and Jim, because we're
hurry
all
up, you
big
got
time
15
fantasy.
minutes.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're each going to give one fantasy football tip for all you fantasy players, and we're going to have to explain why you chose that tip. So, Jim, since you're the guest on the mic, what's the one fantasy tip you have for fantasy players?
I always say draft running back heavy. Always draft running back heavy, and that's because they're not really replaceable. If you lose one running back, you're pretty much screwed.
You're pretty much that's it for the team. Yep.
If you only drafted only a few good starters, you're screwed if you lose one.
I have a question for you, Jim. If you were drafting a defense, what defense would you draft?
If I was drafting a defense, that's a good question.
The Bills got that good one, right?
Bills have a good defense.
Chargers.
Chargers made a lot of upgrades to their defense.
Steelers, you got Steel
Steelers
Curtain.
are good. I would probably go Steelers, to be truthful with you.
From the Chargers fan, interesting.
From the Chargers fan. Okay, so Ryan,
I won't be biased. I won't be biased.
I appreciate that. All right, Ryan, one fantasy tip from you for the players out there.
Kind of said it. Don't draft the quarterback in the first round, please. Like, don't. Save yourself. Save everybody else. Don't do it.
All right, my fantasy tip is, and I think this is very, very urgent for all fantasy players, do not, and I repeat, do not draft anyone from the Houston Texans. Please don't do it. Maybe Brandon Cooks, but
I have him.
Maybe Brandon Cooks, but do not draft a Houston Texan on your fantasy lineup. You can pick Brandon Cooks off of waivers. Do not draft a Houston Texan. Please. You'll regret it because they got no running backs, no other receivers. Davis Mills is not good enough to win a fantasy title for you, and their defense is just disgustingly bad. Do not draft a Houston Texan. Repeat. Say it with me, everybody. What are you going to do?
Houston Texan.
Thank you very much.
Maddie, which teams came out the winners this year in the draft? What do you think?
In the draft, we talked about this. I said the New York Jets had the best draft.
I agree.
Jets, Ravens, Lions is sneaky good.
Lions is sneaky good.
Texans is sneaky good, very good.
Where do you think the Jets are going to finish this year?
Third.
They're finishing in the last.
They're getting
last.
Third. They're getting third.
I don't know.
They're getting third.
What do you think?
Buffalo, New England, Jets, Dolphins.
Really? I think New England might be last in that division.
There's only one thing I need as a Jet fan. I need Tua to play good enough. Good enough that they don't get somebody else. Because I still count my lucky stars that they don't have Deshaun Watson right now. Or Justin Herbert.
That's crazy. All right, so we have 13 minutes left on the show. Jim?
I have to get back to work.
You have to get back to work? All right, thank you. Jim Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Give him a round of applause.
Fantasy guru.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so we have 13 minutes left in the show. Again, let's go to our sponsors really quick. I want to rehash them because they're very, very important to Siriani Says Sports and what we do here. We're going to start off with DAS Technology Consulting. DAS Technology Consulting, LLC, has been helping clients worldwide for over 30 years, and their experience within the data center arena is the reason why Fortune 500 companies worked with them as their trusted IT service provider. So that's DAS Technology Consulting. Next, we have Jag One Physical Therapy, which is a therapy rehabilitation unit that helps people and former players get back to the life they love. From sports physical therapy to soft tissue physical therapy, they get back to life that you love. They have rehabilitative care for all orthopedic surgeons. Jag One Physical Therapy gets back to life you love. You can request an appointment for Jag One Physical Therapy on jag1pt.com. Visit one of their 100 locations in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Next up, we have Outback Steakhouse in Middletown, the place where we're at and where we're doing the show. It's an Australian-inspired steakhouse beloved worldwide. They have unbeatable steak cuts of chicken, ribs, and pasta at a price for everyone. Moderately priced food. Staff is amazing. You got Laura over there. She's awesome.
What?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. But this is one of 10 Outbacks in the state of New Jersey. There's way more across the world. But this place is the best Outback Steakhouse I've gone
Stone
to.
Cold. Stone Cold. What?
All the Outback Steakhouses are good, but this one is the best one. I mean, you got the best owner in the state here, in Lee Mazikian, who I've got to mention time and time again because he's just awesome. I'm not saying this as a employee. I'm saying this because he's just that damn good as a boss. I mean,
biased. You're a little biased.
I am a little biased. Next, we have Rocco's Original Italian Ices, which is located in Keansburg, New Jersey. It's owned by Devin Rocco, who has a family inspired in Italy. It's based on the Abruzzi region, and if you want to go to Rocco's Original Italian Ices, and we have a worker there.
Get on it, Ice Boy.
Italian Ices. You want to speak about Rocco's Original Italian Ices?
No, let him get it. No, he scoops ices.
He scoops ices. If you want to find Rocco's Original Italian Ices, if you exit Keansburg Water Park and you go to the left of Keansburg Water Park, it's right there on the left-hand side. So
are they ices right now or just water?
They're ices. They're ices.
Give it about 5 minutes.
Give it about 5 minutes.
Not even. Maybe 5 seconds in the heat.
Give it about 5 minutes, and they'll still be ices. But Devin Rocco does a real good job at running his business. And if you're in a hot day like this and you really want something to cool you down, Rocco's Original Italian Ices is the best ice for you.
What's your flavor? What's your favorite?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate
and peanut butter.
Pistachio.
Oh, peanut butter.
Water ice?
The service is good.
Oh, you got Ice Boy sitting to your left over there.
Yeah, Ice Boy sitting to your left.
Chocolate water. That's what you like? Chocolate water ice?
I like chocolate water and I like peanut butter ice.
You're too original,
Ah.
man. You gotta give it
Pina
some
colada. There
spice.
you go.
I like Swedish fish.
That's nice. Pistachio.
What?
Pistachio is good. Swedish fish is
Sweetest
good.
fish. What is this world coming to?
All right.
It's better when you have a gelati with vanilla ice cream.
Oh, all right.
All right. One PSA that I would like to give to everyone here, and this is for the people that aren't really paying attention. This is kind of important. There is a charity called the Songbird Foundation, which is a cause to help people who are in financial debt that have autism. This is a very important cause. We're raising money for it through auction. But if you want to donate to the cause, go to songbirdfoundation.org to donate some money to this amazing cause. Again, the autism is a very big thing. It's a very big disease. But I mean, me personally, I have autism, and I am grateful for the life that I have, no matter what I go through. And it's just massive for me to say that I'm doing what I'm doing right now with what I have. And I'm very, very passionate about what I do. And no matter what you have, no matter what disability you have, no matter who you are, it just shows that you can live your dreams no matter what.
Matt the Machine.
Matt the Machine, exactly.
That is 100% correct.
So, again, songbirdfoundation.org. You can't miss it if you want to donate to the cause. And stick around for our auction because that's going to be coming in T-minus 8 minutes. We're giving away jerseys. We're giving away that Boston Red Sox-inspired suit. And we're giving away that Batman suit right there.
Definitely recommend.
That's why I'm
Batman
twitching
one.
in this chair. That thing is hanging next to me.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, for the Batman suit, it's one size fits all. I'm not just kidding. It's large. But, yeah, like...
Matt, they're not supposed to know that.
You're not supposed to know that?
What just happened?
Who's on second?
I don't know. Third base.
Okay.
All right, but we're coming down to the wire here. Ryan, this is your first time doing an Outback show. Do you have anything you want to say?
Outside the heat, it's been fun.
Outside
I'm sweating. But no, it's been fun. Obviously, I missed the last time. You know, life hits you like a truck, but it is what it is. But I had fun. I appreciate it. I mean, the boys over there, Sal and
Carl,
appreciate it. Definitely like talking myself some baseball. Maddie, it's a pleasure as always. But I'm excited.
Joe, you have something to say?
Matt, before you close the show, can I bring up this topic? Who are our Super Bowl picks for this year?
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Here we go. I personally have Tampa Bay and Buffalo this year.
Ooh,
Tampa Bay and Buffalo because I think the Bucs are going to give Brady one more ride at the Lombardi Trophy. And I think the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC. I have the Buffalo Bills coming out on top. Ryan, who are your Super Bowl picks?
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. And I'll be original. I'll go the LA Rams because I do think the LA Rams make it back. I do think they.
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
I do think they lose because I do think it's Big Joshy's time. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a dogfight. So I'm excited. Hopefully it comes true. Sal, are you pulling up those odds over there, odds man?
For the Super Bowl, you want me to pull them out? Hold on.
Oh, I thought you were doing it. They were doing it.
I was trying to get the Yankees score. There's no score yet.
Carl, who are your Super Bowl picks?
I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay and Cincinnati.
Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. Wow. Cincinnati. Wow. No Super Bowl hangover?
No.
It doesn't exist.
They had it last year and they let it slip. I think they're going to be on a mission. I have Cincinnati and Tampa.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, Sal, do you have those betting odds up?
Hold on.
Come on, odds checker, pull them up.
Matt, like I always do, I always come on the show and I come with the hottest hot takes of all time.
You ready, Denver? Ready, Denver?
You already did it.
Like
Denver Rams. Here we go.
Like last year, I said Rams are going to win the Super Bowl.
And you
guys all disagreed. They went all the way. I knew it. But for my pick in the AFC, I think you got to go with the team who has the best quarterback in the NFL.
Here we go.
I think you got to go Denver versus the Rams for this year's
God.
Super Bowl.
So who wins?
And
number one versus number two. Who you got?
I don't know. I think you got to go with Denver here. I think Russ Russ switched to a new team. I think he's coming to win. And he's here to stay.
I don't know what your infatuation with Russell Wilson is. I would really
last year you had an infatuation with Matthew Stafford. Now you have an infatuation with Russell Wilson.
He swaps back and forth.
Yeah. It
depends
who's in the playoffs that year.
You're a two-timer. You're a two-timer, man.
You're right.
Oh man. But I have actually a major announcement in regards to the Siriani Says Sports brand. If you want to check out our episodes for Siriani Says Sports on YouTube and Facebook, go to Siriani Says Sports on YouTube. We have an Instagram at Siriani Says Sports, Facebook at Siriani Says Sports. We are on Colorcast, which if you don't know what Colorcast is an app where you can call sporting events with people all across the world, like me, for instance. There's a kid named Loro Antonio who I got to give a shout out to. I do Colorcast with him every week. I do a talk show with him every week, and he's a great kid. He's from California. Awesome kid, knows his sports very well. But you can connect with people across the world through this method of Colorcast. So if you are a guy that loves sports and you want to get into it, Colorcast is perfect for you because you can make a lot of connections that way. We are also on Twitter at Siri Says Sports. And if you want to know our Colorcast handles, it's at Matt Siriani 1221 and at RBJR824 for Colorcast. And I know Sal, he has his own Colorcast handle. What is it? At Talking Baseball?
Yeah, Talking Baseball with Sal Angioletti.
The one that's not copyrighted.
The one that's not copyrighted.
The one that's not copyrighted.
They could bite me.
But yeah, follow us on social media. And actually, we're having a website launch in a couple of weeks. On August 9th, which is the 100th episode of Siriani Says Sports, where we're launching our website, SirianiSaysSports.com. Now, originally, we had a website on WordPress, but what happens is WordPress doesn't go live because they're just a lower associated website content creating site. So if you have a website, you have to type in your URL.wordpress.com. With this, because of GoDaddy, which is not a sponsor for Siriani Says Sports, although if you want to create a website, use GoDaddy.
Please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us, GoDaddy. If you want to follow us, SirianiSaysSports.com will be launching on August 9th, 2022. We're looking forward to it. It's going to have a lot of content from articles, posts, events, schedules, all that good stuff. And it's not just going to be me that's responsible for the content. It's going to be Ryan. It's going to be Big D, who's in Florida and can't be here tonight. It's going to be the entire Siriani Says Sports family. And we're really looking forward to the launch of the website. But again, follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff. And again, we got to thank Outback Steakhouse for following us. They're a phenomenal sponsor for us,
sir.
And we can't thank them enough. So,
all right, boys, you ready? I'm gonna do this in a minute and a half.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills are the favorite, plus 600 to win the Super Bowl, followed by the Buccaneers plus 700. Then the Packers and Chiefs are plus 1,000.
Wow.
The Rams are plus 1,100.
Wow.
And the Chargers are plus 1,400.
Interesting. Okay, so we have about a minute and a half left. Thank you to everyone. Please give yourselves a round of applause for standing out in this hot weather.
Oh boy, it's
you
hot.
really have been the MVPs of this whole night, because without you guys, we really wouldn't be here right now, and without your support, we gotta thank Christian out here for
he's the other real MVP.
Handiwork.
Right?
He has a towel by him. He's sweating.
Firstly, we got to say hello to Ming. Ming is in San Diego right now at the San Diego Comic-Con. So hello to those boys out there in Padreville who are playing the Mets tonight.
All right. So from Sal Angioletti and Carl McGlosky of Talking Baseball with Sal Angioletti, from Ryan Barron Jr. of Siriani Says Sports, I'm Matt Siriani. Thank you so much for everyone.
Guess what, Matt? Say it. And as always, New Jersey,
stay classy.
Stay classy.
Good night. Stay classy. Good night.
Too bad.